Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you if you are new. My name is Tanya and today we are doing a book haul. Yes! Amazing. I'm so excited. So if you want to see what's happening here, then keep watching, and I really hope that you maybe consider subscribing, especially because I've just transferred to this new channel, and so just to help this channel grow. I do have another channel as well where I talk about simple frugal living. If you're interested, I have a link down below, but it would really help support this small YouTuber, especially starting over with this channel, if you could subscribe and help me out with this whole YouTube algorithm, and just help out my channel and help grow it and support it. So I'd really appreciate it so very much. And you know, if you enjoy it, makes you think, makes you laugh, I don't know, something in this video, maybe you consider it. So let's get into today's video. I'm super excited because I am doing a book outlet haul. Woohoo! This is, I think, my first real order for books for myself. I think I've ordered some for my kids. I will have a few also kid items that I'll throw in at the end. If you don't know, I'm a mama to 3 kids, an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 4-year-old. They are avid readers, avid nerds, just like me and my husband are. So that will be at the end. I'll throw some in. If you did not know, Book Outlet does do really great thing with like books and kids books and items as well. So if you are buying for children, for yourself, your own kids, other kids, etc., just an FYI. And then also the sister site to Book Outlet, it's kids books. So if you want like a whole more massive variety of kids books at awesome prices, check out kids books. I'll also have it linked down below. But I do want to share, like I said, mainly all of it is from Book Outlet, and there's a couple items at the end that were either thrift store or, you know, like consignment shop finds or whatever. So let's get into today's video finally and look at the books. All right, so the first book that I picked up is We Are Not Free, and this is one that I saw a lot last year, and it was, I forget the YouTuber's name, but she recommended this. This was one of her first, like one of her favorite reads of last year, and it just seemed really interesting. It is based on so after the attacks of Pearl Harbor, and obviously the treatment of Japanese Americans and how they were treated, and this is looking at it from the teens point of view. And so this is, I think that they are in, where is it? Yeah, so it's talking about when they're in the Japanese internment camps, but again, this is from like the young adult, so Japanese, young adult perspective of Japanese Americans. I love anything historical fiction, especially World War II. And like I said, I've never I've read a book from the perspective of teens, so I'm excited to read that. I definitely want to learn something new and to be able to read this one. The next thing, 2 things I got, I was really excited for, I wanted to check out, was the Paper Mills Press. They released their classics, or their version of like the bound of classics, and I wanted to check it out because they're about $7 or $8 on Book Outlet, and they just look so cool, and I was like, I want to try it. I think originally retail they're $18. Oh, if I remember prices, I'll kind of let you guys know, but I'll tell you the total at the end as well. The one that I got was Secret Garden. I love the covers as well. They're kind of like faux leather is what they're described as. I don't know, they don't feel like kind of like leather. I wouldn't describe it that way to me, but I still think they're very cool, and for a really cool collection of classics. They have so many of them, but I just got 2 to try out and see what they're like and to hopefully read instead of just hoard books. But I got Frankenstein because, again, I've just never read this, and I've heard a lot about it, and I kind of like actually how it's written inside. If you can see, there's kind of like that spacing at the top, like the what are my words, my English words are escaping me, but like the headers, not headers, oh my gosh, you guys, I can't think right now, but not footnotes, anyway, just this space in here at the top, I kind of like that. So I feel like it's not so like tiny thin font how some classic editions are, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's gonna take me, you know, 20 minutes to read 1 page. So I do actually kind of like that as well. So this is the Frankenstein one. And then I did also get Secret Garden, and it is that similar format as well. And what's kind of fun that I like as an additional touch is each book comes with, the classics comes with its own little bookmark, so that's really cool too, and it has the color that matches with the book. And again, I think they look really cute on a shelf together. So if you have been interested in looking for classics at a somewhat more affordable price, then I know like the cloth bound, those are really great too, but they can be very expensive. These I think are a really great option, especially if you're not sure and you want to start out with classics. I think they're like between $6 to $8, I believe, depending, because they have promotions they run. But yeah, so let me know if you have read these or if you have the collection. What are your thoughts? But I feel pretty excited. I think like I like the covers actually on them. I think they're really great. All right, the next thing that I picked up was, I was really excited about this one, is Lockdown on London Lane. I had not really heard much about it. I just came across it on Book Outlet, and it just, the concept seemed interesting. So it takes place in London, and it follows, I think, like 6 different, or like different apartments, I think it is. But basically they are locked down. I'm not exactly sure what happens, if it's like quarantine based or like something else. But there's different people. So there's like a couple, there's like someone else that, you know, talks about like them independently, someone that's like kind of on a one-night stand, but then it like, obviously now they're like locked down together. And the whole concept just looks so interesting, because it kind of talks about, you know, love and breakups and friendship and just so many different topics within this whole thing of being like locked down together in this one building in London. So I just, all of that seemed interesting to me, and I'm really excited to read this. I have not read anything. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've read anything by this author. It's by Beth Reekless. It's just she's the author of The Kissing Booth. I have not read anything by her, so excited to check that one out as well. And then I also just came across this one. I just thought, again, the cute like romance cover got to me. It's called Well Matched. I have never read anything by this author, I don't think either, and it just talks about that there's a single mother and pretend relationship, like fake dating. That already sounds really interesting to me, and it looks like a friends to lovers story, because, and there's also like a Renaissance fair, like that just seems really cool as well. But it's a rom-com combined with that Renaissance, and I believe that, I don't know names, oh, April Parker and then Mitch. So April and Mitch, and I believe they're friends, like they've lived next to each other for a long time, but she is helping him out. They're gonna pretend they're dating, I think, for his family's sake and judgment and all that stuff. And yeah, so, and I think he works at the Renaissance fair, and so they're kind of, I don't know, be together or whatever. And obviously I think, you know, turn more from fake dating. So I'm excited to read this one as well. Again, in these hauls, I always try not to say excited. You would think I would have more adjectives as a teacher and a reader, but I'm struggling here. So I will be elated to read this. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Then the next one that, again, this is, I believe, also a romance. It is called The Paris Connection. I just loved a lot of these covers as well. And this one, from what I remember, I believe there's Hannah and her boyfriend, and they are going to Paris. They are on this, or no, they're set out to Amsterdam, but what happens is, so they're going, I think, to a wedding. They're together, they're dating, but what happens is that their train divides or something, so then he ends up in one place and she ends up in another. So she is actually like 300 miles away from him, and she ends up in Paris. So that's why it's like the Paris Connection. And when she's there, she basically is like all alone in Paris. She's got to figure out what she's gonna do. And so then she ends up, I think she ends up being with this guy named Leo, I'm not sure. And so I'm wondering maybe something more will happen. I just really hope there's no like cheating, because I really hate that in books. So we will see. I was intrigued by the concept of it. I've never read something like that, like, you know, whole being split apart, but blah, 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 and like being in another city. Plus it's in Europe, which is really cool too. So I'm excited to check it out and see. Again, I don't think I've ever read anything by Lorraine Brown, I'm trying to think. So I just want to see what it's like, and obviously give my thoughts on it to you guys. Let me know if you've read any of these books and your thoughts on them as well. Okay, then the last 2 books that I got for myself that I was just really, I've been into like a Regency romance kick situation. I read some last year and I really enjoyed them for the most part. And so I got 2 that I saw on Book Outlet a while ago. I just kind of have like a add to cart. I'm always browsing, and I just decided to finally get them. The first one is the Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. Like, also I just love the covers and the names of these, like, so great. And this one, she is a thief secretly, so like she seems all proper and whatnot, but she's actually a thief. And then I believe let's see, sounds exciting, you guys. So she's a thief. It's a Victorian times, but she's a thief. I guess all these are different members of this Wisteria Society, like a sorority. And so, oh my gosh, just like so fun. And he is an assassin, I guess. His name is Ned. So Cecilia and Ned. That all just sounds so cool. I'm excited to see how it's written. If it's, you know, my cup of tea, Victorian. No pun intended. We shall see what it's like. So, but it looks like from the description, just things, it has a lot of things that I love in a book. So I'm gonna see, maybe it's an enemies to lovers. I don't know, because I'm not sure if they're gonna be like against. I don't know. I'll let you know in a future video. And then the next, rolling right along with Regency Romance, is I wanted to start reading. It is called The Lady's Guide to Mischief and Mayhem. Again, this also just sounded interesting. It says, of all the crime scenes in all the world, she walks into his twice. This is the cover. And it takes place in England, 1865. Again, like Victorian era. She's a columnist, I believe. So she's a columnist. She writes about crime, which is kind of frowned upon at the time because they think it's too vulgar for, you know, a lady to be writing about, but she's interested in it. And then he is a detective, and so there are murders, I think, going on, and she obviously is trying to write about it. He doesn't want her, I think, on. He's kind of appalled by her being at these scenes and like in this whole crime world. But alas, their paths are crossing, so ... I think more things will happen. Obviously, in a romance will ensue, we shall see. I love the little mystery intrigue, like who's the murderer, what's happening, so I'm excited to see how that will unfold as well. And I think this is a series, I want to say. Is this a series? I feel like this is a series. I think both of these are, so I definitely want to see if there's other books in the series and get those if these are good reads. All right, then the next book that I found, this was not from Book Outlet. And all the books that I got on Book Outlet from this stack for my books, they were, I believe, $50 for 8 books, which that's a really great price. Then the next book that I picked up, I just found this at a thrift store, I think, for $2, $1.99, was Malibu Rising. I was so excited to see this because obviously this has been pretty popular. It's by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I actually started it as an ebook, but I didn't finish, and so I wanted to get the paper bag and try it out and finish it and see how I feel about it. Because obviously, like I said, it's been pretty popular and a lot of people have been talking about it. So I want to see my thoughts on that and see how I feel. And then the other one that I picked up was at Half Price Books. I found it on the clearance rack. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's so hot. Like, I have sweat rolling. Minnesota's like so extreme, hot or cold, but it is hot right now. Okay, and the next book I got is Ranger's Apprentice Book 2. I have the first one. Have I read the first one? No, but I saw it and I was like, I feel like I'm going to love the series when I start it. And I just couldn't help myself. And so I picked up the second book. It was on clearance for $2. And I was like, well, if I have the first one, I feel like I'm going to love it. I'll have the second one, right? Like the book hoarder in me couldn't help it. So I picked up the second one. Again, let me know if you have read this series. I mean, it has like over 20-something books in it. Every time I go, people are like, it's such a good series. It's so good. So I definitely need to get to it. I'm really hoping soon I'll get to the first book and see my thoughts on it. And then the last few items I wanted to show you were items that are kids items that, again, if you're looking for kids or anything like that, or for your own kids or someone else, or for gifts, these are really great. Book Outlet has really affordable, because books can be expensive, right? So it has really affordable and also a good variety of different items. So the first thing I got was this little golden book, but it's the Star Wars one. They have a whole bunch of different Star Wars like things on the... You can kind of see there's a whole bunch of different ones that you can find in Book Outlet. I got The Mandalorian because my kids have really gotten into Star Wars. I guess this is our thing now. And this cost me, I think it was $2 or like $1.90. So not bad at all. Then the next one, in case you are not aware, the teacher had me write anything academic, but if you were not aware, they actually do have like academic books and materials and like study books and things like that, which again can sometimes be pretty pricey, like at other stores or online. So this was, I think, $2.50 or $3, and it is, again, I was so excited because it's Star Wars themed, which my oldest is into, but it's math. He's going into 3rd grade, so it's really fun because it's obviously taking 3rd grade study materials but incorporating, like my oldest already did this one, and it was rounding, and it incorporates like droids, so that's kind of fun. So again, it's things that maybe they might not be as excited about because my oldest struggles with math, so we're just trying to do a little bit every day, and he likes Star Wars, so for some reason he was very intrigued by it. So there we go. But they had reading ones and writing ones and all these other ones that were different grade levels and Star Wars themed, but they have also other academic materials as well that are not Star Wars themed if you're looking. So the last item I got was Paddington, the entire collection, 15 books, and we recently we just have been rewatching the Paddington movies, which if you have not seen them, they're so great and my kids just love them. And so when I was wondering, you know, what are the books like, and it came across, I think this entire collection on Amazon normally is $30. I got it for about $20 or $22, so still a pretty good discount. My kids, you can see, already ripped it a little bit, so I did have to tape it, but you get the entire collection and the chapter books, and it's just so cute because it makes the Paddington here on the side, and you get the entire collection. And just, again, like a fun classic. And so they are just chapter books. They have some pictures in them throughout. My oldest has already started reading the first one, but they're also just fun, you know, to read before bed and things like that. So yeah, that is the entire some of the kids items that I purchased. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll have my link down below. I think it's kind of like a, oh my gosh, why am I evading me today? But I think if you use it through me, I think you get like a $5 off coupon. So if you want to try shopping at Book Outlet, and I think if you use my link, it gives me $5 also. So if you want to help support my book buying habit, I would greatly appreciate it. Or if you don't want to, I mean, feel free to check out Book Outlet. I definitely recommend them. And also, just a little thrifty side note, you guys know me. If you use Book Outlet, there is also a Rakuten for it. So if you don't have Rakuten, I'll link it down below too. And I think like there's like a 6% back, so you get even more money back for shopping on Book Outlet. So I'll have all the details down below too if you're wondering about it. But thank you guys so much. Happy reading, happy book shopping if that's what you're doing today. Thank you so much. You're all amazing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone.